Hello, friends, and thank you so much for being with us for this Tuesday edition of Weather Impact Now. Glad you could be here. I'm Chief Meteorologist Trevor Burchett. It's been another doozy of a day with these pop-up thunderstorms, very typical in the summertime. We are used to it, but they can still catch you off guard just a little bit when you see those storms come on by. I want to show you a time lapse from earlier today as those storms were rolling in into Memphis. This was about noon, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Pretty calm day, looking pretty good, but we sped it up. You see the storms build in Arkansas, and then boom, the bottom falls out. Can't hardly see downtown. 30 minutes later, it's gone. So very typical, these off and on pop-up storms. That's exactly what we mean. They don't last long, but they are heavy when they pass by. That's going to kind of be the case tomorrow as well. We are warm for the rest of the week. I actually think we're going to be a little bit warmer than we were for the last couple of days. Still a chance of a couple of afternoon storms, but by the end of the week, Thursday and Friday, I think we're going to be turning to be more on the dry side. So if you want to break from the rain, I think the end of the week might be for you. Couple of showers still hanging on right now. A lot of them are already starting to fizzle out. Again, these are the kind of storms that once the sun starts to go down, they lose their energy. You just don't have a lot more left to work with, but we'll put a pause on the radar. There are still some showers, mainly up in northeast Arkansas and northwest Tennessee. We're looking near Blytheville, Ripley, Henning, Gates, up along Highway 51, even near Covington, a quick little shower, and then lighter rain now toward Brownsville. But when we put a loop on it, you can see how these storms have been kind of meandering around over the last few hours. Right now, nothing in Memphis. We are all dry here, but we will leave in at least a slight chance of a couple of more pop-up storms for the rest of the evening. Again, we've got this stationary front that's kind of right on top of us, so that could help to pop up a couple of those downpours, not only for the rest of today, but over the next couple of days as well. Downtown looking much better now than it did earlier when we showed you that time lapse, and it feels much better too. 82 degrees is the current temperature, feels like 85, so it is a little humid thanks to all of the rain that we saw earlier, but 82 degrees, not half bad for this time of year. I do expect the humidity to be going back up over the next few days. Thursday, Friday especially, that's when that heat index is going to be creeping back up. Interesting weather almanac today. We made it to 89 degrees. That was at about 10 a.m., 10:40 a.m. The low temperature was 72 at about 11:10 a.m. So within 30 minutes, the temperature dropped from 89 to 72. So that was the big swing that came down with the rainfall that came into Memphis. A little bit below average today. Average high is 92. Average low is 73. Record high 101. That was back in 1980. Just getting started on that big extreme heat wave of 1980 on this date back then. Thankfully, nowhere near that. And officially in Memphis, about a ½ an inch of rain in the bucket for today. Temperatures across the region actually feeling pretty good. 82 in Memphis, 77 in Dyersburg and Truman, 79 in Oxford, 81 in Forest City. Heat index, not really much of one. Again, it feels like 85, so not too bad out there. For the rest of the evening, we do have at least a slight chance of a couple of pop-up storms, especially if you're north of Memphis on Interstate 40. North of there, there could be a few isolated downpours like what we're seeing in Lauderdale County. But most of us are going to be dry for the evening. Temperatures get to around 80 by 9 o'clock, and then eventually overnight, 60s and 70s. 68 tonight in Corinth and Bolivar. We'll get to 73 in Memphis, 70 in Tunica and Clarksdale, also in Dyersburg. Everybody's staying mostly clear to partly cloudy. Tomorrow going to be a lot of the same thing, right? We're going to get up to about 90, and then by lunchtime, we'll have a couple of pop-up storms. Much like today, they're not going to hit every single neighborhood, but they could be heavy where they do pop up, especially by about 3 or 4 o'clock tomorrow. So watch the radar with me. Overnight tonight looks pretty dry. There's 10 o'clock. Any shower that has popped up is going to fade away. We get to tomorrow morning, still dry. But by lunchtime, 1 or 2 storms could start to develop. So there's one storm popping up right at about 11 or noon tomorrow in the afternoon. And then as we get further into the afternoon, 2 or 3 o'clock, we get more of those isolated pop-ups. So they're not going to happen everywhere. Not everybody's going to see rain tomorrow. But if you do see some rain, it could be heavy. And just to remind you, these summertime pop-up storms, yes, they are isolated. Yes, they are hit or miss. They're not going to hit every single neighborhood, but they are heavy, good downpours, maybe a little flash flooding, and some high wind gusts. So when you do hear thunder, remember, it's time to go inside. Again, Thursday and Friday do look a little more dry, a little sunshine, mid-90s. Again, of course, when we turn more dry, typically the temperature turns up as well. We get a little more humidity too. So rain chances start to go down Thursday and Friday, but the heat index is going to ramp back up. So I do expect Thursday and Friday the heat index to be a little closer to 100 because we're not going to have as much rain on the radar. Tomorrow, though, not quite as hot, 91, and that's because we're going to have some pop-up storms around. Even if it doesn't rain at your location, just having storms nearby can sometimes send out a little cool gust of breeze. So that could help our temperatures stay down just a little bit. But again, be aware if you do run into a pop-up storm tomorrow, it could be heavy. Thursday, Friday, I think we're mostly dry, still slight storm chances, but many of us end up dry for the end of the week. Mid-90s for the highs, and then mid-90s for Saturday and Sunday as well. More slight storm chances. Saturday, Sunday, we'll keep it at about a 30%. So it's not going to rain in every single location, but there certainly could be some isolated downpours for the first couple of days of the weekend, especially Saturday and Sunday in the afternoon. And then next week, looks like we go more dry again. So Monday and Tuesday look pretty dry, but hotter and more humid, mid-90s as we look ahead to Monday and Tuesday. So a very typical summertime pattern here in the Mid-South as we're dealing with waves of heat, waves of some pop-up storms. Pepper asked me earlier, when's it over? Well, maybe the middle of October. We got a ways to go to get out of this pattern. All right, taking a live look outside. No rain in Memphis or in Midtown, so get out and enjoy that evening. Coming up next, we'll check in with meteorologist Daniel McDonald for your regional outlook. Stay tuned.